Living in a body that's free from form, spaciousness embodied. This is the third part in a three-part series about freeing the body from form. The first episode was theory, the second one was an explorative journey, and now it's harvest time. You're listening to Consciousness and Me, and my name is Josephine. So what are the benefits of living in a body that's freed from form? Well, I guess the first thing is that it's closer to truth. And that means that there are less shields between you and reality. So that invites intimacy. It's easier to be more intimate with your body and with the world. And my experience is that when you allow your body to not be a shape that fits the materialistic paradigm, but rather, as we spoke about in the last episode, more be like fireworks in the night sky. Your body exists inside of your consciousness, or the bodily sensations pop out inside of your consciousness. Then you also free yourself from the pressure to pretend like the body is form. It doesn't have to squeeze itself into a shape that's manufactured just because the mind prefers to have it that way. We can still reference our body and we can still reference our hand, but the body itself doesn't need to carry the tension of being matter. And that might sound odd if that's not your lived experience, but it's almost like the body tries to live up to the mind's expectations. And if it's expected to be this solid entity that moves through other solid entities, it almost manufactures those sensations. It's like a rigidity or a heaviness that's in the body. But when it's been freed up, it doesn't need to live up to that narrative. So there's a lived freeing to it. It's easier for it to flow. And that's a lovely sensation. It can be noticed, for instance, if you walk into a room and you see something or you think you don't belong, it's almost like you draw in your energy, you make your body smaller. But if you are not identified with your body in the sense of it being an entity, there is nothing to draw in. How do you draw in space? You can't really contract in the same way when you're space. If you're solid matter, then you can kind of shrink. But if you identified space, how do you limit space? Where are you supposed to pull it in? So those tendencies that are so deeply ingrained in many of us, myself included, they still happen, but you feed them less and less. You don't perpetuate that behavior. You notice easier that, oh, that's funny, I'm trying to make spaciousness small. And then you naturally will do it less and less. Also, referring to your body as a thought or a mental construct takes you away from the body. It takes you into mind. And then you relate to your body as though it was your image. And I don't really know how to express this, but I'm going to give it a try. It's like if you reference your mind, you have an idea of how your body should be. And then when your lived experience doesn't match the idea you have of your body, it's easier to do your lived experience as the error and your idea as the original, as the way it should be. And the reason that creates problem or creates suffering is because if you have feelings that comes up as tensions, let's say, for example, that there's a bit of nervousness moving through my system. If I have an idea of where this nervousness should be and where it's not allowed in my idea of my body, then I don't allow the nervousness to flow. I easier limit the nervousness to different parts of my body. But if there is no body, if it's just space, and a sensation comes up that's similar to nervousness, it's not so important for any idea that it stays over here or over here in spaciousness. So it's almost like having a different understanding of your body, or rather freeing your body from the mental construct, means that emotions can move more freely. There becomes less stagnation, less rigidity caused by emotions moving around. Did that make sense? And by freeing up our body from form, we also open up to many different aspects of the non-dual understanding. Because if I don't consider myself a body, that's my subconscious thought about myself, then I don't consider you a body either. It's easier to felt our shared being. It opens up for the potential of feeling like I share my being with everyone and everything, which basically is the sensation of love, the absence of separation. And I have a whole video on that. I'll link it below if you want to know more about sharing your being with everyone and everything and the sensation of love. So freeing up your body from form is not just a little side quest that's interesting. It's at the very heart of non-dual understanding. Because the way we relate to our bodies are very crucial to how we see ourselves, especially if we have the idea that they're solid entities and our consciousness pops up inside of them. Even though we mentally might have adapted a different belief system, subconsciously we still easily hold on to an old narrative. And there's also a bit of playfulness coming in, because if we think that our bodies are forms, then we kind of contain its nature within that form, like the joy or the happiness or love, curiosity, power. But if we all of a sudden don't exist within a form, we're just spaciousness, within which sensations and experiences and emotions take shape. Then when peace or joy bubbles up, I don't need to contain it. It's easier for them to just flow freely. In other words, for me to feel more joy, to feel more peace, to feel all of these good things. Or not good, I had a value word there, but enjoyable sensations are essence sensations. And the same goes for the other way. For feeling fear and shame and anger, in order for anything to fill me up, I need to have a boundary, I need to have a shape. If I'm just spaciousness, then anger cannot overshadow spaciousness. It exists in there, but I'm always bigger than that. My nature is always bigger than anything that shows up. And that's a huge shift in how you can manage your emotions. From an embodied sense. From embodied as in beyond thought. See, these words are going to pop up anyway. Embodied, embody. And we can still use them. They refer to something that we are familiar with, that we know of. We just have to shift a little bit what we mean when we say body. It's the field within which my experiences arises. Living as spaciousness. As intimately one with your body as you can be. Not limiting it to form. Freeing it from the burden of being matter, which it never was in the first place anyway. I'm super curious about your insights. How did you experience this whole journey? How do you relate to your body in the first place? Is it scary to shift, or is it just sparking curiosity and joy? Please share in the comment section below. We reached the end of this 3-part series. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure, and I hope to see you on some other explorations.